Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be talking about how you can have a clearer mind and therefore a more focused mind. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first point, meditation. Why on earth, if you aren't already, are you not meditating? There's countless number of benefits. So one of these benefits is that it reduces stress, and it does this by activating the body's relaxation response. Another benefit is that it improves focus and attention. So the main point of meditation is that you want to sort of close your eyes and breathe slowly, focus on your breath, and your mind's going to wander, obviously, but you want to, you're going to know that it's going to wander at some point, and you want to recognize you're wandering and get back to the focus point, which is your breath. And the point of meditation is to consistently get back to that breathing point, focusing on your breath. And so after consistently meditating for a while and focusing continuously on your breath, it's going to allow you to focus in other areas of life. And focusing on one thing, as I'll mention later on in the video, it makes a massive difference. The second point is exercise frequently. And if you aren't exercising frequently already, I don't know what you're doing, because there's so many benefits of it. So, exercise, especially if you go to the gym, it improves self-confidence. And not only does it improve self-confidence, but it also improves blood flow to the brain. Therefore, you get more oxygen, more nutrients to the brain, and you can think better and have obviously a clearer mind. So exercise also improves sleep quality, and sleep is huge. And if say you've studied for an hour on a Tuesday, that Tuesday night, during the time that you're sleeping, things that you've studied is getting reprocessed in your brain, sort of, while you're not technically doing anything, but it's subconsciously doing that. But you have to make sure that you're consuming the correct things, because say you've spent 4 hours on social media that day, during the time that you're sleeping that night, the brain is going to be remembering the things you've seen on social media, and you don't really want to remember those things. You want to remember the things that you've studied or learnt that isn't social media. So you have to be careful. The third point is to only focus on one thing at a time. So, there's a saying that the woman can multitask and men can't, but no one can multitask. So say you're studying and you also got social media open. That's technically 2 tasks at once, and your brain is going to be consistently switching between the two, and it's going to remember or attempt to remember one thing from there and one thing from there, and that's not going to give you the best sort of ability to learn, and it's just consuming too much information, which is not a good step to have if you want to have a clearer mind. The fourth point is what Cal Newport likes to call solitude deprivation. And I've mentioned this podcast already, but he does mention this on the podcast, and it's where Andrew Huberman invites him to talk about improving focus and productivity. And in his book Digital Minimalization, this is where he introduces solitude deprivation, and he talks about it as if you're going for a walk, say in nature. Instead of listening to something and consuming more information, you want to have that time, a bit like sleeping, for example. You want to have that time where you're sort of reprocessing things in your mind, and you can't do that if you're continuously consuming more information. So you want to have specific times, not specific times every day, but you want to have times in the day, often, where you're just not doing anything in a way, but you're just sort of subconsciously reprocessing things in your mind. The fifth and final point of this video is to stay hydrated. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, you want to consume about 3 liters a day, and it improves cognitive function, it gives you better focus, it improves your sleep, which in turn gives you better focus, and there's so many benefits of drinking water. And as I've said, I don't know why you're not doing it already. This staying hydrated is probably the most important tip of the video, and if you want to take one thing away from this video, drink 3 liters of water per day. And that concludes the video. If you think that your mind is full of unnecessary thoughts and it needs a detox, then the implementation of one or perhaps more of these 5 tips is only going to be beneficial. And so thank you very much for watching. If you would like to watch my latest video, then click here. If you would like to subscribe, then click here. And please remember, there is always room for improvement.